There's a 400-year-old Japanese technique that can help anyone overcome laziness without needing more effort or motivation. And yet, almost nobody knows about it. Have you ever had that feeling where you're just stuck, staring at your to-do list? You know exactly what you need to do, but you just can't bring yourself to start. Well, I have some good news for you. That feeling isn't actually laziness. Recent breakthroughs in neuroscience have shown that what we often call laziness is really a protection system built into our brains. But centuries before modern science, the samurai of Japan already knew exactly how to bypass this mental blockade. They called it kyojutsu, an ancient philosophy built on a mental game between truth and illusion. It was a way of thinking that transformed even the most difficult battles into simple, natural, and almost effortless movements. Let us be honest with ourselves for a second. You ain't never lazy about the things that give you pleasure. You can scroll through TikTok for hours, binge watch 7 episodes of a series in a single sitting, or play a video game for 5 hours straight without even getting up from your chair. There's no difficulty, no resistance, and absolutely zero effort involved. But the moment it's time to study, work out, focus on your job, or start that big project that could change your life, suddenly everything feels heavy. Your body freezes up, and your mind starts manufacturing endless excuses. This brings us to a huge paradigm shift. The problem isn't you. It's not a lack of discipline or willpower. According to a study by neuroscientists at Stanford University, procrastination isn't a time management problem, it's an emotional management problem. Whenever your brain associates a task with feelings of discomfort, anxiety, or fear, it activates a protective mechanism that we mistakenly label as laziness. The samurai figured this out for 100 years before modern science. Your biggest enemy isn't laziness, it's how you choose to deal with it. If you try to power through your own resistance with brute force, you're going to lose every time. But if you learn to read the signs, understand where the blockage is coming from, and use that resistance to your advantage, what once seemed like an immovable wall suddenly becomes an open door. According to a researcher from Harvard University, the human brain isn't designed to seek out effort. It's designed to conserve energy at all costs. So, whenever your brain perceives that a task is going to require more energy than it thinks is necessary, it activates resistance. Kyojutsu teaches that all resistance stems from one of 3 specific origins. If you can understand these, you can unlock any task. The first is resistance to the method. This happens when the way you are trying to do something just doesn't align with your natural way of thinking or working. For example, maybe you are forcing yourself to write on a computer when you think much better with a pen and paper, or you're trying to study with music playing when your brain actually craves silence to focus. The second is time resistance. You might be trying to tackle a task when your body simply isn't ready for it. If your peak energy is in the morning, but you're trying to do your most important work late at night, you're going to face a massive blockage. You're fighting your own biology. And the third, and most powerful, is resistance to purpose. This one applies to those tasks you just can't get started on, no matter how hard you try. Often, these are the tasks that probably shouldn't even be on your to-do list anymore, because they no longer make sense or maybe never did in the first place. You're not lazy, you're just out of alignment. A study from the University of Melbourne found that 79% of people who abandon their personal projects don't do it because of a lack of discipline. They do it because they realize the project isn't connected to what truly matters to them. The samurai had a technique so simple yet so powerful that it made procrastination virtually impossible. It started before they even thought about taking action. This is the secret of strategic positioning. Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman in Japanese history, once said, "Victory belongs to those who prepare the ground." You don't fail because you're weak. You fail because your battlefield is rigged against you from the start. Think about your work environment. If it's full of distractions, your phone buzzing, dozens of browser tabs open, notifications flashing on your screen, your brain is spending more energy resisting those distractions than it is on the actual task. But if you clear your environment, leave only the essentials visible, and even just adjust your posture, the work starts to flow. Studies in a field called neuroarchitecture show that disorganized environments can increase cortisol, the stress hormone, by up to 32%, which drastically reduces your ability to focus. The method the samurai applied in battle is one you can apply to your life right now, and it follows 5 simple steps. First, conscious observation. Every time you feel that resistance hit and you get the urge to procrastinate, just stop, take a breath and observe. What is your body feeling? Is there a tightness in your chest or tension in your neck? Simply becoming aware of what's happening physically is the first step to dismantling the resistance. Second, resistance translation. Ask yourself, is this a resistance to the method, the time, or the purpose? If it's the method, change how you do it. If it's the time, adjust your schedule. And if it's the purpose, seriously consider if this task should be on your list at all. Third, strategic environmental design. Declare war on distraction. Remove everything that doesn't help you. Put your phone on airplane mode. Use a website blocker and clear your desk. Your environment must be so supportive that working becomes easier than procrastinating. Fourth, the minimum viable action. If you tell yourself, I'm going to study for 3 hours, your brain is going to panic. Instead, tell yourself, I'm just going to open my notebook and write 1 sentence. Make the first action so small that it's impossible to say no to. Getting started is 80% of the work. And fifth, cultivate flow. Once you're moving, keep that momentum. When you learn to listen to your body as signals and understand what they're trying to tell you, movement becomes natural again. You'll find you no longer act out of a sense of obligation, but out of a deep sense of clarity. And that's when the path itself starts pulling you forward,